We're going to talk about Chennedy Carter, but it looks like she's blacklisted. And she will be playing professional basketball during the season, but it won't be for the WNBA.
After more than 120 days without a single WNBA team wanting to sign her, and with training camp beginning today, Chennedy Carter finally made her move to Mexico's Professional Basketball League. Is attacking Caitlin Clark worth losing your entire WNBA career?
Seriously, she needs to do whatever she can to get some help, get her anger under control, where she will not have another incident like the one where she slammed into Caitlin Clark. She's out of the league.
This isn't just another player switching teams. The Chicago Sky's top scorer was officially and totally fired from the league after intentionally hitting Golden Goose of the WNBA. Despite an MVP performance abroad, no one wanted to pick up the star player. So let's discuss if Chennedy deserves it, how it happened, where she's going, and her reaction to everything.
Despite the solid fourth season from Carter, an incident with Indiana Fever guard Caitlin Clark stood out to many. The 2024 WNBA Rookie of the Year came in the league, became arguably the most popular player. Became the most popular player. There, I cleaned it up for you, which may have rubbed some people the wrong way, including Carter.
Imagine the Chicago Sky versus Indiana Fever game on June 1st, 2024. It was a single game in a lengthy WNBA season that no one anticipated would go down in history, with a close score that ended in a narrow 71-70 victory. Tensions were already high when everything changed in an instant.
And Clark. I mean, that's clearly a foul, which was called. The question is, will they call it unnecessary? Chennedy Carter.
As the players moved to the opposite end following a Chicago basket, Carter and Clark briefly came into contact with one another. There was nothing out of the ordinary in the course of a basketball game, but what followed was anything but. Carter appeared to be going about her business when she abruptly changed course. It wasn't a slight change, rather, it was a calculated one. She veered straight into Clark's path and gave him a hip check that sent the rookie sprawling across the hardwood. And let's not forget that Angel Reese was captured on camera jumping and clapping on the sidelines right after the contact.
She was signed to the Chicago Sky with Teresa Weatherspoon, with Angel Reese, with Camila Cardoso, and, the rest of the folks. And then we get to the body check. This was originally ruled an away from the ball foul, but it was obviously a flagrant foul. It really upset a lot of people, which really escalated the issue. And it was really just poor sportsmanship on Kennedy's part.
The audience gasped in unison as the live feed captured every second of the collision, which wasn't just any basketball play or even a usual hard foul. You could hear the commentators' voices change from game analysis to actual shock. Officials didn't hesitate to blow the whistle, initially calling a routine foul, but even in real time, everyone knew this deserved closer examination. The referees huddled around the monitor, reviewing the footage that millions would soon be analyzing on social media. What was that became the immediate question that rippled through the crowd as Clark hit the floor. The day following official confirmation that the collision was not basketball-related and perhaps harmful, their verdict, which was still a common foul, was changed to a flagrant foul.
It's one thing pushing Caitlin Clark, and it's another thing blindsiding her. Like, I don't think there's no justification for that. Like, to be honest, we can be honest.
In addition to the hit itself, what's most telling about this incident is Clark's reaction to it. While many players might have leaped to the plate in anticipation of a fight, Clark just got up, collected herself, and carried on playing. No escalation, just a rookie displaying veteran poise in a heated moment. The narrative was only strengthened by the contrast between Carter's aggression and Clark's poise. Frame-by-frame analyses of Carter's movements replaced defensive rotations and shooting percentages. Was Carter targeting Clark because she was a rookie? Was this personal professional jealousy? The questions increased, and the basketball game itself took a back seat.
Something's got to wake her up too. You know? I mean, something's got to wake her up and say, man, I could be in the WNBA right now, starting on a team, being their leading scorer. I've got to get my temper and my head under control. I got to figure it out somehow.
Carter, Clark, and everyone else watching didn't realize at the time that this 5-second sequence would drastically change her career path. It wasn't just a poor call made in the heat of competition. It was the start of her professional unraveling a single physical play that would set off a chain reaction that would ultimately force her out of the league completely.
There's no doubt Chennedy Carter is extremely talented, but she's got to get her head screwed on straight.
And if the hit alone wasn't enough to ruin Carter's reputation, what happened next would be disastrous, since her answer would add industrial-level fuel to an already blazing fire when the cameras shifted to her post-game performance, giving her an opportunity to clarify or even apologize.
She knocked Caitlin Clark to the floor. We all saw it, a flagrant foul. And many people, including myself, thought it was borderline assault. It was awful.
As Carter approached the post-game news conference, the cameras continued to roll, giving her the ideal opportunity to start over. Instead of giving her an open mic to address the elephant in the room, Carter said 7 words that would prove more devastating than any hip check. "I'm not answering no." A well-crafted statement could have changed everything. An apology, an explanation, or even just acknowledging what happened might have softened the blow. Caitlin Clark inquiries.
And then Chennedy just wanted to give you an opportunity to talk about that moment between you and Caitlin. What was that play, what was said, and kind of what it led to.
Next question.
Yeah, play it seemed like she turned to you a little bit.
Yeah.
After
I ain't answering no Caitlin Clark questions.
Did she say anything to you?
I don't know what she said.
What'd you say to her?
I didn't say anything.
That's enough. We're good.
She's good.
Sports analysts who might have defended the on-court incident as merely physical basketball were unable to explain Carter's post-game demeanor, as her refusal to address the situation turned what could have been a one-day story into a week-long investigation of her character. While the hip check had raised eyebrows, this response raised red flags. Those 7 words spread through basketball circles with remarkable speed in a matter of hours.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it, but I think it's just like, just respond, calm down, let your play do the talking. It is what it is. It's a physical game. Go make the free throw and then execute on offense. And I feel like that's kind of what we did, but you know, it is what it is, I guess. I don't know.
The fact that Carter's approach differed from Clark's own handling of the matter and that Carter avoided accountability makes it even more harmful. Clark stated to reporters, "Basketball's competitive, I get it emotions get the best of you, it happened to me too." League bosses were left muttering when one player showed maturity and comprehension, while the other displayed a surprising lack of accountability.
And there has not been a peep about anywhere that she could be landing in this free agency. So a lot of people, including myself, are wondering, is she worth the risk now?
Talent in professional sports is always important, but it's rarely the only factor taken into account. The question now is not whether she can play, but whether she is worth the disruption. This perception issue swiftly expanded beyond just irate fans on social media to team executives and league officials, the very people who make hiring decisions. Coaches and teammates reportedly reacted strongly to Carter's contemptuous demeanor, which caused problems with internal cohesion in the Chicago Sky locker room.
I mean, she can score. She can score with the lights out. I mean, she's pure offense, a pure shooting guard, scoring guard, an instant offense. But if you're a team, do you really want her on the team? I wouldn't.
The harm extended beyond public opinion. It also caused genuine conflict inside her own team, and the tension in the locker room after her remarks made matters worse. Basketball is fundamentally a team sport, and when one player refuses to take responsibility for actions that reflect poorly on the entire team, it erodes the trust necessary for success. For this reason, the Chicago Sky ultimately decided to let her go in free agency without a contract offer, and no other team chose to sign her. One general manager was even quoted anonymously as saying, "We won't touch her even with a 10-foot pole."
Can you
break down that situation that happened.
Yeah. So, in basketball a little bit, there's things called talking, what you like to call smack or whatever everybody likes to call it.
Yeah.
Plays before things are said, you know, that's a part of basketball.
For almost a year, Carter didn't discuss the incident in public until last week, when she seemed compelled to do so in an interview with controversial podcaster Neon. According to Carter's revisionist history, the collision that sent Clark flying across the court and earned him an immediate flagrant foul call was hardly more than a friendly tap.
I think a play before, maybe I was elbowed. Okay, that happens. Think the next play down, maybe something was said. And then maybe there was like a little clip of somebody like yelling in my face. And then we go down the court. Then I hit like a little bucket, you feel me? Come down, hit like a little nice little mid-range pull-up. And then I just like, you know, just give her like a little like, I'm here. Like, you know, I don't think it was, you know what's crazy? Me and my brother went back and watched, and we seen a lot of clips in the NBA of guys getting like pushing LeBron. Like, I think it was Jeff Teague or somebody who like pushed LeBron out of bounds, like said, man, I was mad because like we couldn't stop him.
Even though most viewers can clearly see Carter changing direction to make contact after watching the replay hundreds of times, it's being compared to an accidental brush in a crowded elevator. This late attempt at damage control begs the question, why break your silence now, months after it could have helped with an explanation nobody believes?
So I'm just like, it's like one of those things, like it happens in basketball. I know people try to say, oh, it's not one of those things.
It's not a personal thing, it's a competitive thing.
It happens in basketball, and like it's just one of those things. But like, yeah, it's kind of what happened, and then it spiraled out of control.
And then the media takes whatever narrative they want to
put out. You watch every game, every single game, to see if you can find any deflects in my game, and like it's really nothing that you probably could say too much about. So then you have trolls, and that's what I said. They're gonna be around regardless. But yeah, it was just like a nice little like tap, like I'm here, not to like harm you or anything. You know, if you want to push somebody, you're gonna like full force.
The timing points to something more premeditated. Perhaps Carter was trying to salvage her reputation just enough to salvage her career as her basketball options dwindled. But the flimsy explanation only confirmed what many already thought, that this person was unwilling to accept true responsibility for her actions. Carter's predicament is especially intriguing because no one doubts her basketball prowess. Due to her career-high 17.5 points per game from the previous season, several WNBA teams ought to have been lining up with contract offers. But the combination of that egregious infraction and her immediate response made her a household name in the league.